Hi, love. Coach Kara here. So, today I want to talk about a particular topic that I saw on a dating show. I think it's like UK from BET. It's like a dating show. This was like the UK version, and it's different segments or sessions with the males and females, and their thoughts about dating and relationships and that sort of thing. And during one of those topics, one of the women pointed out that, you know, what are the standards with men? Like, what do we think about men and their standards? Are their standards higher? So that sort of thing. So they went into dialogue. And so I wanted to just touch on a little about that, kind of like to answer their questions or whatever. So that's what we're talking about today, standards between men and women, or whatever the title will become. So here's my thought about if men have higher standards and expectations when it comes to dating than women do. So listen, here's the thing, guys. The answer to that is no, not quite. See, the reason with women having higher standards is because most women date with intention for something more permanent, right? So they have higher standards and expectations because they're expecting a certain type of partner. So of course, most women, not all, but most women will have like a grocery list of do's and don'ts and qualifications and that sort of thing. Again, as I just stated, because they're typically looking for a long-term connection versus having to date regularly and that sort of thing. Now, when it comes to men, it's altogether quite differently, because I don't know, and I think it's a quite smart on their part, because the way most men go about the dating aspect and what their standards entail, so it's quite different. What I've noticed with guys is that they don't turn down opportunities as most women will do, unless of course she's a woman with very little morals and integrity and that sort of thing. Well, then of course she's all in for whatever. But when it comes to a male, he has standards based on the type of opportunity that presents itself. So let's just say he happens to meet someone and she seems a bit more on the one night level, hey, maybe even a temporary sneaky link vibe, situation. So he's going to have his standards based on who she is or what type of person she is. Of course, he may not want the worst type of hookup. Okay, more than likely he's gonna look for the best, right? She's giving that whole hot girl summer vibe. She's popping. Yes. That's what he has standards in that regard. Or it may be someone that he may meet and she's dateable, but he can only take her maybe in doses. Perhaps she talks too much or whatever, but she's a little fun for whatever she is. So his expectations with her are minimal, but she's doable. You know what I'm saying? He can, not necessarily she or whomever that person is, but they've met the standard or qualifications just to date casually every now and then. Then he has his expectations for someone who he could actually date, regularly. That individual meets the qualifications to be taken out more often and to be treated as such, because those standards or those qualifications with this, particular person have been met in some way. So in that aspect, they are doable. You see where I'm going here? Now, and then we have the one who might be the potential game changer. Now, this individual is ready to make some changes with this guy. He's ready to change his entire life, make some major sacrifices, disassociate himself from, negative humans and whatever he has going on. He's willing to make those changes for someone who's more, who could be a more permanent, in his life. You see what I'm saying? So his standards in that regard are far greater. than the others. His expectations are far higher. And so when he meets this individual, if he ever does, then he is going to act accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? So with men, their standards lie differently, much differently than women. And if a guy cannot meet that particular person, like that, his dream partner, if he doesn't get that, well then ultimately, if he is trying to be in something long-term, marriage, then he basically ends up settling for the next best thing. You understand? So that next best thing met the qualifications enough to be wed, in that time. So, but women, the dynamic is quite different, because a lot of women doesn't want to do that. They don't want to have hookups, sneaky links, date different guys every time you see your homegirl. She has a different guy, that sort of thing. So, because when women typically do this, she may gain a reputation of being promiscuous and just not being a woman with a whole lot of morals and standards. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's double standards basically, and it's quite sad that we can't have as much fun as guys can without being judged and having certain stigmas, placed upon us. But when you are a woman of great standards, you will try to seek out the best man for it varies with every woman. She may not want much, but she might want very little, but that may be a lot for the person that she, is engaging with or communicating or trying to connect with. He may not even be able to measure up to just like 3 particular things. And, it's a person by person case. And for me personally, when it comes to dating, I am more or less like the type of person, if I can see you as someone I can actually go out on a date with, like I'm not going to just read you off right away and say, oh, he doesn't look like he have this, or he doesn't do this, or he's not giving this. I'm more fair. Like if you look like you get regular haircuts bi-weekly, and you floss, and you brush your teeth, and you shower daily, and you smell nice when I'm before you in that moment, okay, so that warrants a date. And then I can make my assessment as that date goes along if I want more from it, because when people start to talk, you can kind of determine what type of person they are and what they're about and the energy that they're giving, or at least I can, right off, I can. So, then I make my assessment there versus just judging more so on what they look like as far as appearance and what they're giving in that moment before you even go out on a date. Okay, so I'm a bit more fair in that aspect, kind of like the guys are. So I just wanted to clarify that up when it comes to standards. Men have a total different outlook when it comes to choosing someone, because they have many opportunities. They have all types of people that come into their lives, and they treat them accordingly, you understand, until they have met the person of their choosing that they prefer, who meet the top qualifications of what they want out of someone. So yeah, it's tricky. I think both men and women have high levels of standards. It's just that men are quite more flexible with theirs. You understand? So yeah, but guys, I just wanted to bring that to you, share that information with you, just food for thought, so you can think about, should I alter my standard, my list? Should I minimize it just a little, give a little room? Just something more positive may outweigh those couple negative things that you've noticed. All right, so just be a little fair. All right, because I want you guys to be in relationships. That's my goal, all of you. All right, just a little. Okay, my loves. So yeah, I thank you so much for joining me today. If you need more dating coaching, all of my information will be linked down below. That is all for now. Until next time.